Today we are taking a deep dive into the Kramer AW-6P-B, and on the surface, it just looks like a black box, a 6.5-inch wall-mounted passive speaker.
Yeah, but when you actually look at the spec sheet, it's trying to serve two completely contradictory masters here.
Right, it creates this weird Venn diagram
Of rugged outdoor durability requirements on
Yeah.
one side and then strict high-performance indoor safety codes on the other. Usually, manufacturers just pick one lane.
right, because usually rugged means bulky and industrial, while safety-rated implies it's basically a glorified utilitarian siren.
Exactly. But Kramer is pitching this as a high-fidelity audio device that just happens to be built like a tank.
Well, the all-weather claim is backed by an IP66 rating, which is
Which is aggressive for a speaker. Most outdoor gear stops at IP54 or 55. That second 6 in IP66 is the real differentiator.
meaning the enclosure is tight enough to withstand powerful water jets from any direction. So practically speaking, if you're cleaning a commercial patio, you could take a pressure washer to this thing and not worry about frying the crossover.
Within reason, yes. It totally changes the maintenance protocol. But the engineering challenge isn't just keeping water out. It's about what happens when you bring the unit inside. It carries the UL 1480A certification.
And for those listening, that's the Fire Protective Signaling Standard.
It is. And that's a massive value add for a business owner. Instead of installing an ugly, dedicated emergency siren system and then a totally separate audio system for background music, this speaker is certified to handle the alarm signaling too.
So that explains the V0 flame retardant enclosure. It's not just durable plastic, it's chemically engineered to self-extinguish.
Yes, combined with the aluminum grill and bracket, it won't rust in the rain and it won't spread a fire indoors. It's a real material science balancing act.
But look, all that armoring usually kills the acoustics. You
Huh.
pack a speaker that tight to keep dust out, and it tends to sound choked. It's a two-way configuration, but I noticed they went with a polypropylene cone for the 6.5-inch low-frequency driver.
You have to for this application. A traditional paper cone would absorb humidity and warp within a month, totally ruining the frequency response. The polypropylene and rubber surround give you that rigidity for the bass and mids without the moisture sensitivity.
And the frequency response hits 89 hertz to 20 kilohertz, right?
Yeah.
Handling 30 watts continuous and 45 watts peak.
Right, and they paired that with a 1-inch soft dome tweeter. But the key there is the ferrofluid cooling.
I was going to bring that up. That feels like a necessity for the thermal swings, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. If this is mounted on a south-facing wall in July, that voice coil is going to bake even before you pump 30 watts through it. The ferrofluid is essential for dissipating that heat, so the high frequencies don't distort or seize up entirely.
Speaking of pumping power, the coverage on this thing is surprising. The dispersion angle is listed at 132 degrees.
Which is conical, by the way.
Conical, right. That is massive. Most indoor-focused speakers are much narrower.
It completely changes the installation math. If you're covering a large open beer garden or a patio, a 132-degree throw means you physically need fewer boxes to get consistent coverage.
So you avoid those awful hotspots where the music is deafening directly in front of the speaker but silent 10 feet away.
Exactly. And that efficiency plays right into the electrical side, too. It's built for complex mixed installations. You have the standard low-impedance 8-ohm tap for a regular receiver.
But the high-impedance 70-volt and 100-volt transformer taps are where it gets interesting for commercial multi-speaker chains.
It gives the installer granular control. You can tap one speaker at 3.8 watts for a quiet corner and another at 30 watts for the main floor, all in the exact same line. And it uses a toolless mounting bracket designed to speed up that process.
And doing all of that in either black or white for around $161. I know it's discounted from about $200, but it seems like they are seriously undercutting the cost of buying separate safety and audio setups.
That's the chameleon aspect of this device. It's priced like a consumer speaker, but spec'd like commercial infrastructure.
It really blurs the line. We're moving toward a world where audio equipment isn't just furniture that plays music anymore. It's becoming essential. Utility infrastructure, robust enough to survive the weather, rated to save lives in a fire, and it still has to sound good playing jazz.
It stops being an accessory and starts being part of the building's actual DNA.
Something for you to consider the next time you look up at the speakers on a restaurant patio. They might be doing a lot more work behind the scenes than just playing the hits. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.